Whether you're in Texas or someone else, what you may have come across is a free LLC filing service. So I want to explain what goes into free. And of course, there are other filing services. They range from 49 to 99 and on up. You can, and if you hire an attorney, you can expect to pay somewhere between $250 and $750 for filing for your limited liability company. I'm going to talk specifically about Texas, but most, if not all of this information is applicable to states across the U.S. So let's get started. Is there such a thing as a free LLC? Nothing is free, right? Everything that comes for free, you can expect to pay some type of price. With here, at a minimum, you're going to pay shipping and handling. So at a minimum, you're already paying more because you don't have to pay shipping and handling when you file for an LLC by yourself. You might have to pay a postage stamp, but that's usually about it. So shipping and handling comes in here. If you file online, credit card fees and so forth, but you get the idea. The other thing here that's very, very key, and I think this is the most important part, the most important caveat of this free LLC, is the registered agent. What you will see is the registered agent will be free for a year. But what happens after that? Well, of course, you could go somewhere else for your registered agent, or at least I think you could. But the problem with that is then you have to edit and alter your LLC documents on file with the Texas Secretary of State. Of course, your Secretary of State is going to charge you if you go in to edit who your registered agent is. In Texas, I think it's a $150 charge to edit your LLC filing documents. So you definitely, you're stuck here. And what's going to happen is after this initial free year, so you get your 1 year for free, after that initial free year, you're going to have to pay. And guess what? You're going to pay an inflated price over what you would a normal registered agent. Now, if you use yourself, of course, this will be free, but most people don't want to use themselves for privacy reasons and maybe other reasons. Maybe they don't want to have someone filing service at their house or their home, or they don't have an office. So usually you're going to want a commercial registered agent. If you go outside and get an independent one, it's usually not that expensive. In Texas, you can find one for about $40 a year. But if you go through this service, how much is it going to be for that next year? I didn't find that out, but that's something that's very curious, because you have to remember that when you use a filing service and you partake in their add-ons and their upsells, everything is inflated. For example, another potential cost here in the free LLC is express, rush, or expedited shipping. What they're going to do most likely is go to the Texas Secretary of State. They're going to order the rush service or whatever the Secretary of State offers, and then they're going to turn around and sell it to you for maybe 2x or 3x what they paid for it. So you're going to pay for that if you go ahead and you get the rush service to get your LLC filed as fast as possible. Another thing they typically offer is the seals certificate in the binder. I'm just going to tell you all of this is fluff. It is absolutely not necessary to file for your LLC and carry it out legally. So just in case you were wondering about that, no, you do not need it. They will also offer you a domain name. So again, everything is inflated. If you get your domain name at GoDaddy, you might pay $15 if you're paying the most they offer for. You can go to Namecheap, and Namecheap's usually $10 or less. Namebright.com is a lesser known registrar, and you can buy one there for usually $9 or less. So again, you will pay 2 to 3x if you go ahead and get your domain name through them. Your EIN number, employer identification number, that's something you go to the IRS website for. Literally, it can take you 5, maybe 10, maybe 15 minutes if you're like super slow and looking up everything as you go. But this is one of the easiest things you can do. Yes, you do need it for your LLC because you're going to need to have a separate bank account and the bank is going to require one. But this is something you can do on your own. You don't need anybody to do it for you. It's dead simple. It's one of the easiest, most surprisingly easiest, given that it is through the the IRS website, but it's very, very easy. So what comes with free? Well, they're going to try to upsell you on all of this stuff. And what might happen is you might end up paying more than you ever thought you would if you try to even just hire, let's say you just hired a bare bones $49 service, you might pay more than you ever thought you would by going with free. Now, of course, the $49 service, what you have to keep in mind is they also are engaged in the practice of doing all of this. All of these upsells, that's what they're called, is upsells. Every time you go to a checkout and you go and you see another thing that you could potentially buy, it's just like at McDonald's, how they ask you, do you want to supersize this? Do you want fries? Do you want a Coke? Do you want ice cream? Do you want an apple pie? Whatever. All of this is upsells on the basic thing. And if you're watching this video, you're probably price conscious and you want to keep these down. You don't want to just throw out money for no reason. So a lot of this is extra stuff. And if you do want the extras, then you can do them on your own. You can DIY them on your own. Now, filing for an LLC, is it a little bit intimidating? Does it seem a little bit something you want someone else to do? Yeah, probably, because first of all, it's a foreign document. The instructions are written in the most cryptic of terms. They're usually unhelpful. Now, I haven't read every state's LLC instructions, but they're usually that way. And then also they start asking you whether you're member managed or manager managed and so forth. And so when you get to those specific sections of filing for your LLC, it can get confusing, and then you might think that you need someone else to do it for you. The truth is that whether you hire a filing service or not, you're going to have to go through those questions one way or another. And if you have the proper explanation, then you can go through it. And that's where I come into play. The Texas LLC Guide, right here, texasllcguide.com. That's my website. I wrote that. It's the easiest possible way of just breaking everything down and making it easy to understand. And just I take you step by step through the Texas LLC formation and make it easy as possible. Now, what I've also done is I have created the LLCguide.com, and what the LLCguide.com is my way of trying to broadly take every state and get the common questions that people get hung up on, and then answer those in a clear manner, just like I did with the Texas LLC Guide, to answer those in as clear a way as possible so that you don't need these filing services. Because once you understand everything that goes into these documents, you don't need to pay $49. You don't need to get wrapped up in trying to extricate yourself out of this originally free LLC that you thought that you were going to get when you filed. So I think one tip I would give you walking away from here is to get your own independent commercial registered agent if you are not your own. Okay, so that way that it's completely separate and you won't pay the middleman fee, because that's what these filing services are. A lot of times they're just middleman fees. So I hope this has helped you. These are my two websites. If you're in Texas, texasllcguide.com. If you are outside of Texas, the llcguide.com can probably help you. Thank you so much for watching.